Hey there, dear viewers. Welcome to Obsessed with Werewolves. I'm so glad you're here because I know you, like me, have a passion for all things werewolf. From their captivating tales to their mysterious nature, we're going to explore it all. So let's dive right in and satisfy our obsession together. Commencement of the war. Alpha, they are here. Axel rushes towards us as we are on the staircase. How many? Xalvador asks, quickening his pace. Hundreds and hundreds of them. It's impossible to tell. They are as far as vision can go. He adds, and Xalvador grits his teeth. Soon we are on the ground with others from our pack. The silver falls and the black water look smug, as if knowing how unprepared we are. Well, bitches, don't be so sure. Only the leaders are in the human form while everyone behind them is snarling already in their wolf form. The first one is tall and has an intimidating body form, while the other is short and bearded with evil smeared in his expressions. Xalvador steps forward, and so do I. I look around and find that there are only 3,040 women, our army of hundreds. Xalvador was very firm on their protection, saying some of them were too young and some not ready, while some were ready to mate and give this pack all the heirs it might need. Why are you so hell-bent on fighting us? Why do you harbor such immense hatred? Xalvador barks at the alphas of the two packs. He is attempting at a peace offering, and I know it cuts his ego and self-respect to do this. But he understands what his pack will have to suffer if today's fight happens. How did I ever believe that this man was heartless? Oh, don't bother with the details, Xalvador. Our reign, he emphasizes with a malicious smile, is to wipe out your bloodline and every single trace of you in your pack. I grit my teeth as fury fills my veins. These are the people who ruined my life and Xalvador's. These fucking heartless people took away everything that did not belong to their malice-filled beings. Immediately Xalvador shift, and I hear a thunderous crack of bones. I shift as well and pounce at the first enemy wolf. I bite into its neck and it howls with pain. There are growls and howls everywhere, and I cringe on the inwards. There will be so much of bloodshed when this gets over. I focus back on killing the wolf and lunge at another. Our soldiers, I realize, are a lot stronger than those skimpy rogues. Two wolves attack on me from the side as I almost kill the one at my neck. I claw at the one on the right side, but the other one's teeth sink in my torso. I growl in pain when one of the two wolves is thrown away from me. I see a wolf from our pack climb at it and kill it within minutes. I mind link him a thanks as I feel warmth in my heart. I get to protect the people I belong with, and they protect me. I overpower the other one and realize he's a strong wolf. We fight for minutes each one, not ready to give up. He is a huge gray wolf with one of the very sharpest canines I've seen or felt. You are too strong for a woman, he growls as I claw him near his ear. That will definitely leave an ugly scar. I grin inwards. And you are too weak for a man. I snarl and he growls with fury. The wolf bites on my side. Taking the chance, I ignore the burning pain and bite into his neck as powerfully as I can. After a few moments of struggle, the wolf falls dead. I get a few seconds and I take a quick glance around. It seems we are in control. Our wolves are stronger except the local ones. Xalvador are as merciless yet tactful as I see him dodge to wolves in a way that they hit a tree with force and stumble on the ground. That buys him time, and in the next minute, he tears those wolves apart. Another large wolf attacks him, who I recognize as one of the leaders. I am not really sure which one of those leaders is alpha of either of the pack. Xalvador fights the wolf, and just then another wolf claws at my back. I turn to it with a growl and tear at his stomach. It takes me a few good minutes to kill it. Wow, this is exhausting. Suddenly I hear groans all around. And I realize those are the groans of my wolves. Suddenly a searing pain settles in my head and I almost fall on the ground with pain. I hear hundreds of similar groans. It's the witch. Oh no. Maisie, I call in my head, hoping she knows what is happening. I wait and wait for help to come, but Maisie doesn't show up. Xalvador is growling with pain as he dodges to wolves with great effort. I somehow get myself free from the wolf attacking me and run. The wolf follows, but I'm faster. I reach the spare pile of clothes and shift. Immediately putting on a shirt, I direct my hands to the wolf almost about to attack me and burn him with the fire. I grin as it growls in pain and runs to his pack. Foolish wolf will burn the others now. Good for me, though. I realize that I no more feel the pain that I felt before. That's probably because the witch must have done the spell on our wolves while I am in the human form. I run towards the fight and target the wolves attacking Xalvador. I do it quickly, then proceed to burning 3 wolves near Axel and 1 near Marcel. Maisie appears behind me chanting with her eyes closed in concentration, and the next minute, our wolves are up and about again. The enemies growl with fury as they realize we have a witch too. I burn maximum of them possible without harming my pack wolves. I just need to spot the witch. If I take her down, our chances to win will increase a me. Arabella. Maisie appears beside me as I try to burn the wolves surrounding one of my wolves. I'm sorry I came in late. I was trying to locate the witch. I can feel her, yet he is hidden. No scent, nothing, she says frantically and resumes her chant. It's okay, I say. We are in control again. I reassure her and she nods. And then suddenly, the thing was dreading the most happens. The enemy wolves start moving unbelievably fast, just like the countless time. But just like last time, only a few from the massive crowd are with the superpowers. Xalvador looks at me and I see his eyes darken. Dark moon wolves. I call out and mind link everyone to clutter behind me. I run to Maisie and tell her what she is to do. She nods as I start to call all my wolves together. But the swifter wolves mercilessly kill dozens of my wolves, and I raise my hand in the air with fury. Xalvador manages to catch one of the spell, induced wolf, and tears his body before I can blink. He is boiling with wrath and fury, and my condition is no different. As soon as I see a fast movement, I direct fire. After a few misses, it finally hits target and a wolf comes down burning. I and Xalvador stay in the front with Maisie, dodging and fighting as our wolves gather behind us. As soon as our wolves are within a boundary, Maisie chants and then turns to me with a smile. The enemy wolves attack again, but as if there is an invisible wall in between, they get thrown away. Yeah, I'm easy. I look behind and I smile content lie as I find many of us safe within the circle. We have to resume the fight. No doubt. We can't attack from here. But this buys us some time to build a strategy now that we know what we are dealing with. Super wolves. A witch. Cruel but atrogues and hungry for revenge dushes. Yeah, that is pretty much it. My eyes scan the crowd for that person I haven't seen ever since the fight began. Finding no success, I look at the enemy and ponder frantically over how we can capture the witch. Arabella, look. Xalvador whispers like a ghost beside me, and I look in the direction he is staring with the distant look. My eyes widen as I see someone I trusted so much, standing with the enemy. This can't be happening. Enemies in the house. Almost everyone has shifted now, but I barely focus on that. We stare dumbfounded at a smug-looking wolf, formed Liam, and I gasp on the inside. Behind me, Beta Axel growls as he spots what we are looking at. He betrayed us. Axel growls while I stumble back in shock. I can't believe Liam dared to say this. Another gruff voice that sounds like Xalvador speaks, but I can't really focus on analyzing who just spoke. But why would he? Another unfamiliar voice shrieks. Luna. A female screams from behind somewhere, and yet I remain unmoved. I know that voice. but all I can focus is Liam, standing with our enemies, with the murderers of my parents. I can't keep up the wall any longer. The witch over there is trying to break my spell, and she is far more stronger. A frantic voice speaks again. Liam is with the enemies. Arabella, a male voice. He is against us. My friend, Arabella. This time a hand shakes me by my shoulders violently, and I am brought back to reality. I stare at an angry-looking Xalvador and realize that I had zoned out during the most dangerous fight we are fighting. Sugarbun, I understand, but we don't have time for emotions right now. We can't let that distract us. Xalvador explains, his eyes piercing into mine, and I instantly feel the anger and hurt he feels. His voice is a frantic rush, and I realize how high the stakes are right now. Maisie repeats her plea again, and I snap my head to the front, thinking about what we can do. Maisie, just a little longer. I say, concerned as her eyes clench shut in pain. There are approximately 25 of those super wolves. I want 7 groups of 10 wolves each. Make a circle. Keep the space in between hollow. Xalvador begins with his idea, and I weigh all the possibilities. Then, he continues and nods at someone standing very behind us, near the pack house. The person, an old-looking man, steps forward with a bag that sea-winks with the things inside with every step that he takes. He drops the bag at Xalvador's feet and stands back waiting for him to continue. These are silver knives. I have only a few of them, but enough for what I have in mind. Now, the wolves that from the sphere will stand with their fronts facing outwards, with silver knives. Then in the field, precisely move your hands when you spot the super wolves. Silver should be enough to hurt them, as we would be in a circle. Wherever a super wolf moves, we will hurt it. The wolves there are overconfident because they have a witch. I am positive they don't have any silver weapons, so this is a plus. And Liam has betrayed us. Everyone growls at his statement, but no one, and I repeat, no one, kills him. I want him alive when we win. I want to know the reason he chose to be with them. He orders in a cold, hard voice. The wolves growl a chorus of yes. These 7 circles will disperse in the field. I, Axel, Marcel, Julian, and Warren will lead them. Now remember, those wolves move extremely fast, and your job is to prevent them from attacking the other wolves that will fight individually. Move the knife with precision and take care not to harm your own partners. Am I clear? He asks, and the wolves growl. He nods at me, and I know instantly that I have the liberty of supervising the remaining wolves. The chosen leaders along with Xalvador are moved to the side, leaving me staring at the rest of my pack. I want 15 of you wolves to focus on not killing but finding a woman within the field. She is the witch, and we have to get her if we want to win this war. You 15 will scatter in all directions, making it look like you are fighting, but instead you will be seeking for a woman that is doing the spells. Then another group of 2 wolves will follow each of these 15, protecting them secretly, but be careful not to arouse any suspicion. The rest will fight normally. I explain, and there are grunts of approval. I'll be with the 15. I can probably smell the witch, Elizabeth says, and I nod. She might be the first one to figure out who the witch is. But what happens once we find her? One of the wolf asks. Mind link us as soon as you know. Remember, the enemies don't want us to know who the witch is. And especially the witch must not know that we have spot her. Once we know who it is, we will attack from the back to make sure she uses no magical powers to stop us. I reply, and everyone nods. Shit. Xalvador commands, and I nod at Maisie. She drops her hands and the wall breaks. Maisie, now take rest and don't do anything unless extremely needed. We got this now, all right. I say, holding her hands, and she nods reassuringly. Deafening growls and howls ring my ears once again as the wolves enter the ground normally. I raise my hands and focus on the enemy wolves. As soon as a wolf attacks, I step forward and burn him. I wish I could use my elemental powers in the wolf form. I burn several wolves and then glance around. The super wolves aren't smart enough to combat silver knives. The rogues might be powerful, but they are stupid, and I can see that clearly. I burn several wolves, and then I face the moment I had been dreading. I face Liam, in his wolf form. My anger and hurt takes over me as I shift and pounce on him. How dare you cheat me like that? I trusted you, called you my best friend. Why, Liam, why? I mind link him with venom and I claw into his sides. He groans and looks around. For position, of course. The Silver Falls have promised me the position of this pack's alpha once all of you are finished. I can't live being a third in command my whole life, you know. He growls back. He looks at an enemy wolf who I recall as one of the leaders, and the wolf nods with a sinister smile. Bloody hungry for power traitor. Liam bites on my right paw and I feel pain. But his bite isn't deep. It's almost as if he is reluctant to hurt me. After everything we have been through, after all the love you got from our pack in Xalvador, how could you do this? I ask incredulously. Oh, that isn't my pack. I was a rogue just like you, and Xalvador found me. I was made to do petty jobs to earn his trust and shit. And when I finally did, he made me a freaking third in command. A position that doesn't even have a name. I deserved to be the beta butt. That is when the Silver Falls gave me a better option. He says nonchalantly, and my blood boils. Now that I know the reason, I can kill him, right? Because that is exactly what I am gonna do. Get ready to die, best friend. I mind link and pounce on him. He dodges and then pounces on me. His fingernails dig into my side. Again, this attack of his isn't as strong as it should be. Maybe he is tired. Well then, it will be easier to kill him. Determined, this time I go for his neck. I am about to snap it when his paw claws at my stomach and I growl. Taking me by complete surprise, he runs off into a direction away from the field. Now he is running away. The coward. I follow him blindly and find myself running after him into the woods. I almost lose him as he runs way faster than I expect him to, and I growl in frustration. Aficionados go faster. Aficionados obeys and we run faster. I stop when I see him standing in the middle of the woods as if waiting just for me. He doesn't run again, nor does he attack. I lunge at him, but as if expecting me that he throws me back by dashing his side at my lunging form with full force. I fall back and see him shift. I go for him again, but his voice stops me. Arabella, wait. I am not gonna harm you or our pack. He exclaims, throws at me a long cloth, and I shift quite readily behind a tree. Well, he can choose how he wants to die. I can always burn him. You expect me to believe that. After all you have been doing is plotting against us this entire time, and killing my wolves back there. I ask him with a mock laugh as I reappear. Yes, now listen. My father was one of the rogues who attacked that night and is still one of the leaders in the fight back there. But first, you must tell me, do you know who you are and the history of your grandmother? He asks slowly, and I am way beyond confused now. Maisie just revealed everything to me and Xalvador. Then what is Liam talking about? Maybe it's a trap, or maybe he heard us. I don't have to answer a traitor. I bark and he wrings a hand, frustration. He looks genuine. Please, Arabella. We don't have time. Tell me, do you know the history about the connection between you and Alpha X Xalvador? About Luna Gabriella. He asks again, and this time I nod. I thought so. Maisie told me she would tell you. Maisie. Him, what is he talking about? Liam, I don't understand. I say, genuinely confused, and he takes a step forward. I immediately raise my hands up in defense, but Liam doesn't attack. Now, Luna, listen very carefully to what I say next. He says and looks around. He then leans and I almost shrug him off, but his words stop me. When he moves away again, I just give a slight and sure nod. That is when he shifts and pounces on me and I am knocked to the ground. Oh my god. Yay, why? So here's the next chapter. Things just get more and more interesting, don't they? I enjoyed writing this chapter and I hope you guys enjoyed reading it. If you did, don't forget to vote and comment. I love to see your views about what I write. You are free to point out something that you think is confusing or I have left unexplained. Also, it's a few chapters before this story wraps up. So stay tuned and comment on what you think will happen next. Do you think Liam is genuinely on the Dark Moon's side or it's all just a trap? Dedications and mentions will be given to readers who can correctly predict something or anything about the next events. But to parties Xalvador's POV, I swoop on another wolf, knocking it to the ground. Damn, these rogues just keep getting larger and larger in number. Move to the right. I order the circle we have formed as I spot 2 of those spell-bound wolves killing my pack members. After a lot of struggle, a wolf from my sphere manages to kill one of the wolves while the other runs away. The bastard. Out of the corner of my eyes, I spot Liam emerging out of bushes. On his back is a girl, Arabella. She is unconscious, I realize. No, I run to her, growling at Liam. He looks up and I see hesitation. Oh, third in command. I won't have any hesitation when I snap your neck. He drops Arabella on the ground and I pounce at him. I bite at his side and he limps to the ground. Arabella. I growl in a mind, link as I kneel by her. I sniff her and I hear her heart pumping. She's alive. Thank God she is alive. But she is opening her eyes. I swear I will kill the backstabbing bastard. What did you do to her? How dare you? How dare you? Traitor. I growl in a cold voice and lunge at him again. But another wolf, I suppose as one of the leaders, shields him and claws at my arm, throwing me back. I barely notice the scratch as I go for him this time, but he fights back again. Liam separates us and other wolves attack me. While I struggle with them, Liam mind links the leader. I attack the 2 and easily kill them both. When I finally attack Liam again, the leader has left. My eyes snap in his direction and I am confused when I see his doing. My grip tightens on Liam's neck as I watch the leader leave with some wolves. The women and children. Oh shit. Xalvador, stop. I hear Arabella and my heart skips a beat. I throw Liam away and rush to her, surprised as well as delighted to see her standing there ever so normal. Arabella, what's happening? I shift and ask her while she helps Liam's wolf to stand. Liam's on our side, she asserts and I frown. Yes, Alpha. I only had to fake deceiving you so I could save my sister from the clutches of my evil father. My father is the one who has spilled venom within the rogues against our pack and you. That is because he loved Luna Gabriella and wanted to mate with her. In fact, people say he was obsessed with the Luna. But when she found Alpha Adam and left, my father had more than one reason to be angry. He decided that he would take revenge on her mate and everyone that separated her from him. Thus, the whole war. He explains as we look around for any attacks. He ultimately mated with another rogue and never found his true mate. My mother had me and my sister. After killing Alpha Adam, he was furious that he couldn't kill you. But what made him even more angrier what he did to find Luna Gabriella either. He was sure you wouldn't survive as a rogue and would die naturally, but when you returned a few years later with a decent amount of pack members, he went crazy with rage and anger. He says and pauses and I glance at Arabella. She listens intently to continue. I order and Liam complies. I was trained to find you and be with you. For years, I supplied them information about what was happening in the pack while my father was busy collecting a massive army for his revenge. And with the evil sister of Luna Gabriella, He was sure he would give you the most painful death possible. I was first unaware of the evil my father was planning, and therefore I carefully made my way to becoming a loyal in your eyes. He says, and I clench my fists. All these years, you've been acting. But then I got attached to you and thought of quitting and never breaking your trust. But I couldn't stand up to my father then. But when Luna Arabella came, I decided to put an end to all my wrongdoings. I just couldn't cheat her, knowing everything pain my father has caused you both. But my father threatened to kill my little sister, and she is the only family I have. So I decided to fake deceive you. I don't believe a word now. He's just making up stuff. I try to convince myself, but a part of me forces me to believe his genuine expressions. Yet I don't. I cannot forgive you, Liam. I growl and lunge at him and punch him. Xalvador, stop. Arabella yells from behind, grasping my arm. He cheated me, Bella. I trusted him the most. I growl and punch Liam again. Xal, please. He was brainwashed. He was unaware of the reality. I only did everything to save his sister. Please. I ignore Arabella's pleas as I kick Liam and he falls at a distance. That's it, Xalvador, stop. Arabella stops me with a firm voice and a grip on my arm as I am about to march to Liam again. Let me save our pack, Alpha. I don't ask for forgiveness, but please just let me save everyone. I will accept whatever punishment you give me after we have defeated my selfish father. Liam emerges as he coughs up blood. How? Your treacherous father already left for where I assume is the hiding of the women and children. I bark and he frantically shakes his head. No, I diverted them to a wrong place. As you must have noticed, a large number of the wolves are gone. We can control the situation here now. I am actually shocked this time. If he really means what he just said, then my wolves won't have too much trouble now. What about the place your father has gone to? Arabella asks. Maisie must have left for there with some wolves. It's the old cellar near the river. She will lock them up and also cast a spell, so we can punish them later. And where is your sister? Arabella questions. I demanded that I would only help my father if my sister isn't involved in this war. I'm sure she is safe now. I told her how to escape. He says, and I'm forced to believe him. I have no time. The witch is still out there, harming and torturing my wolves now. It's either him or my innocent wolves. Fine, let us go. But if you backstab me this time, Liam, I will kill you. I warn Liam as we shift while Arabella follows. Alpha, Luna, I've found her. Elizabeth mind, Lynx, and Arabella looks at me in triumph. Oh, sugar bun. It won't be an easy task getting rid of someone who has magical powers. Axel, go with your wolves and capture the enemies from near the cellar. I mind Link and Axel complies. But is what I like about him. Axel knows when he should act without questioning. Arabella raises her hand in the air as she starts to produce fire, and I'm mesmerized by how fiercely beautiful she looks. I regain my train of thoughts and kill 3 wolves as they attack me together. I watch Liam as he openly fights from our side this time. Most of the wolves are confused, but I mind. Link my pack that Liam is no enemy. At least I hope so. Elizabeth moves her head towards a dense patch of trees. I fight normally, but my gaze stays trained there, and then I notice a glimpse of red tresses. The witch. She is hiding there. I look around and find that we have killed most of the wolves. I slowly move towards the trees. If I want this war to end, I have to kill the witch. As if already knowing my thoughts, the witch steps forward and chants something. I'm confused until my entire body feels like it is burning. I growl as I topple on the ground, and the witch steps forwards with a malicious smile. It won't be so easy, dear nephew, she says with that same sweet smile on her face, and I growl. My wolves attack her but one chant, and they are all on the ground screaming with pain. Pain surges through my body as my right paw twists. That bitch. She is twisting my bones. I growl as my body burns as well as twists in the most painful ways at the same time. Suddenly, the pain resides and my gaze snaps to the witch. She is burning. Arabella. I smile as much as the pain allows, as Bella helps me stand. I can barely keep up with my twisted bones. The witch screams in pain but then starts chanting something. Immediately the fire vanishes and she glares venomous lie at my mate. Before I can save Arabella, the witch chants and Arabella's falls to the ground, screeching with pain. What did she do to her? I swear I will kill her. I try to stand but my legs give out due to the twisting. I link my pack wolves to help Arabella but the witch chants something and they fall to the ground as well. What the hell? I start feeling Arabella's agony and strive to get up. Just when I am about to fall again, a strange wolf pounces on the witch and the screams of agony stop from around. I stand and try to recognize the wolf but can't. It is when the wolf mind links me I realize who it is and I've never felt more surprised before. A price to end the evil Xalvador groans as the redhead chants and twists his bones. She has me under control and I can't do anything. I want to yell, scream, tear the woman apart for hurting my mate. My blood is boiling. My entire body is on fire with rage and desperation. I try to stand up again but the woman pulls me down again. As I scream with pain, I see Xalvador trying to stand to help me but immediately he stumbles and falls again. That bitch. She is hurting my mate. Aficionados is raging within me, wanting to get out but I don't let her. I can't use the power of fire when I'm in my elemental form. Xalvador groans again with agony and this time, I decide to strangle the woman no matter what. But before I can do anything, a wolf pounces on the witch, an unfamiliar wolf. I watch dazed as Xalvador's expression changes from confusion to surprise. Who is it? Very cautiously, the foreign wolf hoists upon the witch and claws at her mouth. Now the bitch can't chant, huh? I smirk as I raise a fire in her direction. She can barely groan with the unfamiliar wolf's hand on her mouth. I try to intensify the fire but I realize I'm too tired. All day long fighting has drained my power, but I still keep trying. Xalvador manages to stand and snarls dangerously at the witch. He pounces on her as the other wolf moves but before he can snap her neck, she frowns as if in concentration. The next moment, Xalvador is thrown away. She can cast her magic without chanting as well. Shit, she is powerful. Xalvador's agonized growl makes me lose concentration and the fire weakens. A sudden force twists my arms behind my back and I yell in pain. I am weaker in human form. Xalvador growls again while the wolf who helped us is thrown away too. I must do something. I need to get back to the house and mind, Link Axel. It's time to do the thing I didn't want to. We need more power. Because of the witch. The rogues have regained their confidence and are fighting more aggressively. I shift and sprint towards the house. It's getting darker. I must bring an end to this as soon as possible. Thankfully, Xalvador is up again and fighting the rogues while the witch is busy defending her already bleeding body from my wolves. I'm running one moment and the next. I am pulled to the side by another wolf. I am eager to attack, but then a huge tree falls on the spot I was running seconds ago. I look up to find the same unfamiliar wolf. It saved me. I stare at the wolf in question, but suddenly he growls with pain. I realize it's the witch's doing. She is hurting him because he saved me. Like the hero he is, my mate pounces on her and the spell breaks, relieving the wolf. Thank you for saving me. I mind the wolf as I get on my paws again. It was my duty. Luna. Comes the reply in a weird tone and I snap my head up in shock. I have heard that twisted tone too many times to be mistaken. It's freaking Kane. He helped. Kane grins with his canines flashing as he grasps my reaction. Hell yes. I am shocked. He was literally watching television when I urged him to help before, and here he is now, saving my life. I smile with a breath as we run towards the house. Why did you help? I mean how? I heard Maisie talking with you and Alpha before the war. He says, and that is all the explanation I get. He heard Maisie tell about Luna Gabriella. Maybe, knowing that Luna wasn't selfish, changed his mind about blaming her and Alpha for everything. Whatever the reason is, Kane intervened at a very crucial time, and for that, I will forever be thankful. I enter the house, and without wasting a minute, I mind Link Beta Axel. The situation is out of control. Send them in. You got it. He replies curtly, and I sigh. What did you do? Kane questions. You'll see. I say smugly, and we sprint to the field again. I kill every wolf that comes in my way. A new surge of energy in me. Surprisingly, Kane is very strong as well, given the fact that he never shifts or trains. We kill and defend, and fight and attack. A sinking feeling settles in me as I watch Xalvador are thrashing on the ground, bleeding and bruised. The evil witch is breathing hard, her hands thrust up in the air. Almost all wolves are writhing on the ground, screaming in pain. What is she doing? I pounce on her, almost tearing her arm apart, but she closes her eyes and the searing headache shoots. I groan but barely loosen my grip. No, bitch, you aren't getting away this time after hurting my mate so bad. Fiona unleashes and attacks her, bites her, but her resistance is strong. Suddenly, I hear a thunder of growls and howls from behind. A thunder of feminine growls, to be precise. I smile as I dig my canines into the witch's arms, and she cries. The pain in my head intensifies, and I can't help but fall on the ground. 3 wolves pounce on the witch and hold her by her arms. The only way to stop her is to kill her. As the wolves holding her by me time, I turn around and run to the last resort I had planned when I transported all the women and children with the help of Beta Axel. As I stand to look at the wildly fighting female wolves, I recall the incident that day. We're done, Beta Axel says as he stands beside me. I gaze at the amazingly large group of women and children in front of me. We are in an underground room, built years ago by the 2RH on Alpha solely for the purpose of a hideout. Xalvador knows it, and no one else apart from me and Beta Axel now. It is on a secluded ground, cleverly camouflaged by a blanket of soil and leaves, which shelter a horizontal sliding door. Then comes a staircase which takes one down to this secure place. The women look at me as if waiting to say something. I look around and realize how most of these are young and healthy women. Axel, why don't we include the women in this fight? I ask, and he immediately shakes his head. No, we have Alpha's strict orders that women are not to be involved in the fight. Why not? I mean, look at their number. We could win in no time if we have this large number of wolves on our side. Luna, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the idea is crazy. They are not even trained. And what if something happens to them? The training part I can take care of. But the latter, Axel, imagine if we lose. If their mates die, what then? Will they be able to live? No, it would be a smarter move to include them to save and defend their mates. Plus, women are not as fragile as your pact depicts them. I argue. Luna, we can't do this. I can't. Alpha would kill me, he says, and I groan. I run my hand frustration when an idea strikes me. Fine, how about this? For today's, I will train the willing participants from this group. But on that day of the war, we won't take them with us. They will be here safe and sound. Only and only, if the situation goes out of control, we will bring them in. Their help, no matter how unorganized, will be a blessing at that time. I say hopefully, and Beta Axel seems to consider it. Plus, if anything goes wrong, I'll take the blame. I swear to the moon, Your name won't be dragged into this, I quickly add. After the few minutes, the bait and odds, and I grin in triumph. And to my amazement and happiness, I find a huge number of women and willing to fight for their pack. So from that moment, I begin to train them. I teach how to defend and how to attack. But more importantly, I teach them how to be savage. Because that is exactly what will save their life, and that is exactly what the enemies deserve. I'm not impressed as I observe the female wolves fight. They are getting hurt a lot, but not overpowered. I strictly instructed them to take down one wolf while forming a pair of two. And that is working out pretty well. Xalvador, as I look at him now, seems relieved, angry at the same time. I walk to him and link him. I'm sorry I did this without telling you, but it's okay. It was a daring but fruitful idea, Bella, he says, and I smile with relief. Out of all the wolves alive, Xalvador is the one who has gotten hurt the most. He is bleeding from almost everywhere, even though he is an alpha and heals the fastest from among us. His legs are crooked as his bones are broken and twisted. Yet he stands amazingly strong, and I cannot bring myself to imagine how he does that. Together we fight the few wolves as they attack us. The witch seems bewildered by the moment entry of my wolves, and that hinders her efforts of torturing the wolves, holding her down with her malicious powers. After everyone is dead or subdued, we shift. We have to kill the witch, Xalvador states, and marches to her. She tries her spell thing, but I guess doesn't manage to gather enough power. Happy burning in hell, dear aunt, Xalvador growls with clenched teeth. He snaps her neck, but nothing happens. The witch screams in pain but doesn't die. It's impossible. He literally snapped her neck. This suddenly places her forehead on Xalvador's chest. Xalvador stands there confused, but as he is about to move away, she speaks, "So my nephew, I have done so wrong. The curse is broken. You snapped my neck, and now I am free from the spell that made me fight you. Oh, Xalvador, how much I regret causing you pain." She mumbles in a way that wouldn't convince a child. Xalvador shrugs her off and moves behind. "Stop lying, bitch. You have hurt my mate and my wolves, and no amount of bullshit will save you from death." He snarls with his teeth clenched. He's about to attack her again, but a voice stops him. "Alpha, wait. She can only be killed by a silver knife." Maisie explained, and Xalvador are orders for a silver knife. "Where were you?" I ask Maisie, and she blushes. Blush. What the hell? Maisie, what are you hiding? I ask eagerly, a smile forming on my face. She looks behind, and her eyes meet Liam's. "Liam, kiss me," she says, her cheeks burning red. "What? We are mates," she says, clasping her hands, and my eyes widen. Wow, how did that happen? Maisie seems to understand my confusion and quickly explains. "Look," she says, and I look up at the darkening night sky. The moon is up, which marks the beginning of my birthday. I turned 18 today, and that is when I realized that Liam is my mate. Oh my God. This is so amazing, I can't even believe it. Werewolves can be living with their mates all through their life, but they only realize that when they both turn 18 and up. Which happened in Maisie's case. Liam and Maisie are the most perfect couple I can imagine. Thank you, Moon Goddess. Maisie, this is just fantastic, I'd exclaim. She's about to reply, but just then a wolf returns with a silver knife. Without wasting a second, Xalvador plunges the knife into the witch's body, and I smile. Finally. My happiness is short-lived, as the next moment, Xalvador screams and falls on the ground as well. He clutches his torso and blood starts flowing. What the hell is happening? "Luna," Maisie exclaims gravely from beside. When she laid her head on Alpha's chest, she connected them both as one. If she dies, he dies. No, This cannot happen. Xalvador. I scream as the witch grins, losing and gaining. No, no, no. I scream as I kneel down by Xalvador. Xalvador coughs up blood and his other wounds instead of healing start getting worse. Oh my god. Maisie, what can we do? Please, please do something. I scream as Xalvador writhes in pain. Tears flood as I feel Xalvador's blood on my hand. The cut gets deeper and deeper as the witch starts losing consciousness. Remove the knife. Heal her. I scream as Xalvador coughs up more blood. Everyone around me is in a frenzy, but I can barely register anything. People are doing things, but I don't notice anything but my mate, dying in my arms. Call the doctor. Axel screams. I think Liam storms to the witch and clenches his fists as if trying not to hurt her. Do something. If he dies, Liam growls at the witch, but she cuts him off. What? What can you do? I will be already dead by then. You've killed everyone. I don't care. My motive will be fulfilled. So please, go ahead and fast forward this process. Stab me again. The witch mutters with a snarky grin on her face. No, no, no. Luna, I can try and break her spell. By the time the doctor arrives, it will be too late. Maisie says with a quivering voice. I nod frantically. Yes, Maisie, do it. Do anything. I cry as I cradle Xalvador's head. Every nerve in me is screaming to rip off the head of the witch, but I can't. Everything I do to her, Xalvador will feel. He can't go like this. And oh, Xalvador, please. Please. You can't go like this. I wail as he looks at me with hooded eyes. It's too late, Bella. He manages to whisper and I growl. No, no. You'll be fine, okay? Maisie will break the spell and you can heal then. I say firmly while I'm breaking on the inside. Xalvador offers me a weak smile when I hear Maisie begin to chant something. Keep her alive. Liam commands and the wolves holding the witch pat her face, forcing her to open her eyes. Xalvador moves a finger, ushering me to come closer. I bend, my ears near his lips. I love. He breathes hard. I love. USUG, sugar bun. He says and I cry harder. Please, Xal. I love you so much. You can't leave. Not after everything we have been through now. I plead, my tears falling on his body. I see his eyes water and I realize that it's not because of pain. I wish had more time with you. He whispers again as his eyes start drooping. No, what are you doing? You can't just close. Stay with me, Xalvador. Hear me. Stay with me. I urge. My voice shaking and my actions desperate. I pat his face and look at the witch. She is losing consciousness. No, please. Save him. Please break the spell. I beg you. I run to the witch and plead her. Say barely looks at me as her eyes force themselves close. No, please. Don't do this. Don't take my mate from me. Please. I scream, desperately. Hands grasp my shoulders and I realize it's Kane. He looks down at me in a way I don't like. Like he's pitying me. The sympathy. Like he knows my pain. No. I am not losing my mate. I am not losing Xalvador. Not when I finally realize how much I love him, no. Don't look at me like that. Xalvador's not dying. Kane, please do something. Please tell her not to kill my mate. I love him. I cry as pain shoots through my body. The pain, which breaks you and your soul. Effiana is crumbling into pieces and the sensations overwhelm me. I can't do anything. I'm helpless while my mate dies in front of me. I hear Maisie's chant and my hopes flare up. She is still here. Oh yes, how can I forget? I run to her and clasp her hands in mine. Maisie, save him, please. I plead. crying herself. The spell is too strong. Comes the smug voice from behind me. The witch. I ignore her and focus on Maisie. She closes her eyes and chants. The air around me gets chillier as the night darkens. I have never acted like this. Never been so vulnerable. Never felt like begging for something with everything in me. It's all because of him. He has made me feel things I didn't think I was capable of feeling. But right now, at this moment, I feel helpless and utterly vulnerable. I feel as if every piece of me is dying with him. Maisie almost screams with her chant now while Liam stands by her side, mirroring an expression of awe and pride. They are mates. Them being together gave me so much happiness, but then I had to face this. Seeing my mate die right in front of me. It goes on for what seems like the most tortuous hours, but I know it's been hardly a few minutes. The night gets darker and I don't like it. It's as if it is signaling that I am going to lose my mate. Xalvador coughs up more blood and his hand falls by his side. I quickly sit by him, engulfing his form with mine. He whispers and I close my eyes, savoring his voice. Stay with me, please. Maisie needs just more time, I whisper, cupping his face delicately. His lips form the smallest of smiles and he closes his eyes. A witch tans Gier Alva. Salvara Majore. Maisie screams with pain. Know what's happening. I look at her to see her trembling, as if in great pain. Her nose leaks blood while her ears turn red. Her fists clench and I run to her. Maisie, no. Liam screams as he holds her weak body in his hands. She falls to the ground and I just stare. No, not her too. I look at Xalvador and realize he is not moving or writhing with pain. I look at the witch and she lays there, dead on the ground. And then I look at Maisie as she lies and moving in Liam's arms. Maisie. Liam screams. Axel stands like they're like a ghost and the world goes dead silent. I was trying to save my mate. But I lost my best friend. Unsolved problems. I stand rooted to the ground as I feel my entire world falling apart. Fiona crumbles with pain and withers as I yet again glance at Xalvador. Then Maisie. Both lay still on the ground, just like my heart. I feel as if I'm not living anymore. Liam suddenly growls, shaking Maisie, and I realize yet again that he has lost his mate on the same day he found her. I hate you. I growl ferociously and kick the dead witch, my fury beginning to show in my actions. I hear Axel release a sob, but he doesn't show any other signs of pain or hurt. I walk to Maisie and cup her face while Liam cries, holding her in his arms. Maisie, please wake up. Don't leave me. I didn't want to lose you while saving Xalvador. Please just wake up. I break down and lay my head on her forehead. Suddenly, I hear a gasp of breath from under me. I jolt and sit up. I see Mae's lip quiver. Liam senses that too and perks up, hope and desperation clear on his face. Alf is alive. Pack, doctor. Maisie mumbles and I can't believe my ears. I almost want to stay there and reflect on what she said, but I know I don't have time. I feel Maisie's pulse and almost shout with joy as I feel it. She's alive. Liam exclaims and I run to Xalvador. Axel summons the Pactor and examines him. He's barely alive, but there is a chance. He says and I feel overwhelmed with hope, happiness, and also the possible dreaded outcome. Do whatever you have to. Save him. I plead in the pack doctor. Xalvador is taken to the house quickly and I look around me. And for the first time I realize how much bloodshed this war has caused. How many lives have been shattered. How many wolves have lost their mates. The women that fought from our pack now come into my view. I see some of them happy, kissing their mates while some cry over their dead, ripped apart bodies. I cannot sit and have a pity party for myself right now. I may or may not have Xalvador, but for these women, who've already lost their mates, they deserve to see them buried with respect and dignity as soon as possible. Before I check on Xalvador, it's my duty to make arrangements for the proper funeral of all the warrior wolves. Even the enemies. Axel, these bodies shouldn't let to stay here any longer. Make arrangements for the proper burial and inform me. I will be there when they are buried. I say, and he nods. He walks away and I stare at the battered body of the leader, Liam's father. Axel, I also want you to cut off his tail. I say, pointing at the one man who ruined my entire life. Axel nods as if happy at my order, and I think of running to my mate now, but I can't. I am their Luna. I limp towards the house, my entire body aching and burning. Almost everyone follows. I stand on the stairs and address my wolves. Wolves of the Dark Moon Pack. There is a lot about today's war that you don't know. This fight wasn't just a fight for power or dominance. It was the ultimate consequence of years of bubbled-up feelings of revenge, hatred, and unjustifiable obsession. But right now is not the time to share the history that had you lose your loved ones. I, the Luna of the Dark Moon Pack, genuinely and with all my heart, thank you, each one of you, for today. You have not only saved your pack and its inhabitants, but saved the dignity and the name of the 2RH on bloodline. We have together avenged the incident that happened almost 15 years ago on a fateful night. I extend my heartfelt grief to all women who have lost their mates or anyone who has lost their loved ones, and I promise that none of them shall have an ounce of trouble spending their lives alone on the financial level. But remember, you loved ones died as warriors. And that is something I, as the Luna of this pack, will forever be thankful for. You all may go and rest now. I have a lot to explain later. I say and look around with a deep breath. The pack sobs and some smile while some just nod. But I don't see a single angry face. Talking to them, addressing them after their individual sacrifices was important. To give them a closure, to make them realize that what they sacrificed today mattered. A lot. But what about Alpha X Xalvador? My mate died, saving Alpha from wolves. A woman sobs and steps forwards. I tightly smile and walk to her. Just pray to the moon that your mate's sacrifice doesn't go in vain, I say in a soft voice, placing my hand on her shoulder, offering what little comfort I can. She nods, closing her eyes, and tears slip down. I squeeze her shoulder and turn again towards the house. I enter our room, the room I once hated. I see Xalvador bruised and almost pale on the bed, surrounded by the Pactor and Marcel. How is he? I ask, almost wanting to run away before hearing the reply. The same. The silver has done its damage while he was already in a condition that was hard to recover from. And due to the silver, his broken bones aren't recovering as fast as they should. The doctor explains and I nod feebly. Is he going to make it? I ask, looking at Xalvador's unconscious form. He should. He is a strong-willed person. The medicine should work miraculously if Alpha Xalvador wants them to. Yes, okay. I say absently as I sit by Xalvador, who is attending Maisie. I ask next. My brother, Douglas, is with her. He answers and I nod. I have to see her too. She almost died, trying to save my mate. Okay. I want all of the wounded wolves to be treated immediately. I say and he nods. Emily, I mind, link her. Get Marcel to get the women and children back and immediately make arrangements to provide food for everyone. Yes, Luna, right away. She mind, links back. The doctor, Michael, leaves after promising to come back after half an hour to reapply his medicinal paste. I caress Xalvador's hair, taking in every feature of his. Memorizing his chiseled jawline and his sculpted lips. Please come back to me. You promised me you would kiss me our victory when this war ends. Just come back. I whisper as tears fall. Months ago, I couldn't bear to look at his face, and now he is my entire world. He is the one person I feel utterly incomplete without. I'll be waiting for you, I say and kiss his hair. I leave the room to check up on my best friend. I enter Maisie's room to find Liam by her side, sleeping on her forehead. How is she? I ask softly as I close the door behind me. Very tired, but she is good, I guess. He replies, staring at her face. Wow, it's amazing how the mate bond can turn mere acquaintances into the halves of a body. Liam can't seem to take his eyes off her sleeping form. I take a seat on the bed and take Maisie's hand in mine. Thank you so much, I whisper. How is Xalvador? Struggling to heal? I answer grimly. He will be fine. Liam answers and I nod tightly. I really hope so, Liam, but he just looks so lifeless and bruised. It's killing me watching him like this. He will be better. He is the toughest person I've known, he says firmly, and I offer a small smile. He smiles back reassuringly and then stands up. I should go and help in the burial. Plus I have to apologize to Axel. I may not be able to do it later when Xalvador decides the punishment for my betrayal. Liam says and leaves after placing a kiss on Maisie's forehead. I want to tell him that Xalvador won't punish. Not after everything he has done, but I can't. He leaves before I can speak. Arabella. I hear a faint whisper and I lean towards her immediately. You're up, I say excitedly, and she smiles. Not for long. I'm not gonna be here for long, she feebly says, and I pale. The night of doom I stroke his soft brown hair, almost in a trance. There are too many things on my mind right now, and I'm literally breaking down. I can't withstand all this by myself. Right now, at this very moment, I need my mate more than ever. I haven't felt this way ever since the day I became an orphan, the day I lost my grandmother. It's been hours since the war died down. It's almost 11 in the night and Xalvador isn't up yet. I don't even know if he will be. His wounds aren't healing yet and he is still as a corpse. I took care of a few things in the past few hours. I thank Kane and realize that he is back to being his old self again. Only he doesn't hate Xalvador or me anymore. I made sure all the wounded wolves got proper treatment and food. Marcel brought the women and children back, all of them safe and sound. Seeing them rejoining and crying for their mates made me smile and broke my heart at the same time. The funeral for all the wolves and enemies is scheduled for tomorrow morning. And it kills me when I think that Xalvador might be one of them. No. I shake my head as I clear my thoughts. I can't lose hope. Not on him. Not on Maisie. I lay my head on the bed, by his ear, my hands still entwined with his. Come back to me, Xal. I know you're too tired, but once you try, you will heal fast. Listen to my voice. Come back to me, Xalvador. I can't lose you after everything. This pack needs you. I need you. Just fight it, okay? Every time you feel like giving up, follow my voice and remind yourself that I'm waiting for you. Your sugar bun. I keep whispering until I feel my eyes drooping. After what seems like an eternity, I feel his finger graze the back of my hand ever so slightly. I doubt if the movement even happened. I jolt up and look at him, desperate and hopeful. When I almost think I was dreaming about the movement, his eyes flutter. I gasp as he slowly wakes up. His fingers enclose around my hand. I smile with tears brimming my eyes. I see slight color return to his face as the wounds finally start healing. You're alive. You made it. I cry as I hug him. And just like that, every nerve in my body is alive again. Fiona is back, dancing in happiness. I feel complete. That is the power of the mate bond. He groans and I realize what I'm doing. But as I try to pull back, he hugs me back tighter and I smile again. I was so afraid I'd lose you. I whisper, crying now. Me too, baby. Xalvador replies in a raspy voice, and the sound is music to my ears. Within minutes, I see him recovering. Being an alpha, he heals faster than an average wolf, and that is something I'm so grateful for. He sits up and I force him to eat. We both eat and then I hug him again. His lips skim over my mark and I close my eyes in bliss. I love you, sugar bun. And I love you, I say as I look at him, alive and smiling again. Everything is going to be all right now, he says as he places a kiss on my lips. His words hit me hard as I realize just how wrong he is. Hey. What's wrong? Xalvador asks with concern as I cry, not with happiness this time. It's Maisie, I answer as I recall my meeting with her a few hours ago. Not for long. I'm not gonna be here for long, he whispers. Maisie, what are you talking about? I exclaim, confused, wondering if she was joking. I'm exhausted, Arabella. I feel like my soul has left my body. The spell did it. I feel lifeless and I can't move. No, shut up, okay? You're my best friend and you are not dying. You are gonna fight through this and live. I'll get you some food. I state and get up. Maisie's fingers wrap around mine and I halt. No, Arabella. There are some things I want to do. Many things I want to say. Stay. Please. I don't know how long. Maisie, just shut up already, alright? I said you are not dying. You are up, which is a good sign, and now you're gonna be fine. You just need to eat and heal, okay? I admonish her with a glare, but deep down, her words have scared the hell out of me. And even though I act strong, I pray to the moon that not a word of her turns out to be true. Okay, but please don't go, said she pleads, counting the space beside her. But Maisie, you need to eat, please, she says again, and I sigh and sit down. I am so glad that we became friends, she says, holding my hand, and I shake my head furiously. Why are you telling me all this right now? You can say this some other time too. I say sternly, and she shakes her head with a sad smile. I'm not so sure, she says, but I am. Don't be. Maisie, no, please. Let me talk while I can. You are the strongest and kindest person I know. And we are damn lucky to have gotten a Luna like you. And I was so scared of you before, and never did I ever think that we'll end up being such close friends. You are my best friend, Maisie. Not just a close friend. I quickly correct and she smiles. A tear slips from her eye and I quickly wipe it out. She places a hand on my stomach and I frown in confusion. She closes her eyes and chants something. I ask her what she is doing, but she doesn't reply. She squirms and writhes as she chants and I try to stop her. I protest a lot, but Maisie doesn't stop until a few minutes later. She opens her eyes and smiles with content. Maisie, what did you just do? I ask. You'll know when the time comes. She replies satisfied and I frown. She doesn't continue and I don't push. She needs to rest. We sit in silence for a while and I don't like it. Maisie doesn't look like she is feeling anything. She says she is fine, but I can see she isn't. I decide to diverge her thoughts, hoping it will motivate to fight the pain. So you remember the first time we met? You were so frightened, and Xalvador. I begin, reminding all the funny memories. Maisie laughs at each one, adding her own point of views, and I laugh as well. We stop after a while and I stand. Listen now, best friend. I gotta go and take care of some business, but you promise me that you'll stay strong. I'll check on you later, alright? I ask and she nods. Suddenly she is crying and I frown. Maisie, what's wrong? I ask and help her sit up. She hugs me and I hug her back. I'm so glad I found you, She whispers between sobs and my stomach tightens again. Why is she saying all this? I told her she will be fine. Maisie, I love you. Arabella. I'll always protect you. And maybe someday somehow, we'll meet again. She says sadly, and I cry too. I just don't like it. Whatever she means, I don't like it. What are you? I begin to say, but a voice cuts me off. Luna. I hear Liam's voice and turn to the door. He comes in and takes a seat beside Maisie. Maisie smiles at him and he kisses her, gleaming with joy to see her sitting all fine. I smile as they embrace and soundlessly leave the room. She will be fine, baby. She is just very weak and that is messing with her head. Xalvador reassures me after I tell him everything. I nod with hope and optimism, trying to convince myself that unlike every time, Maisie is wrong just this one time. But sleep all right. You can meet her as soon as you wake up. It's too late. Xalvador says and I nod hesitantly. I have this huge urge to go and check once more if she's okay. But I help Xalvador lay down again and I lay down beside him. His embrace offers me comfort beyond Ike and a scribe and I find myself drifting off to sleep. It's barely dawn when I wake up, feeling something bad. I look at Xalvador and sigh as he sleeps peacefully with his body much more healed than last night. I hop out of my bed and run to Maisie's room. I enter and find her sleeping too with her body wrapped with Liam's. I kick myself mentally. How stupid of me to disturb them so early in the morning. I'm about to leave when I notice something. I go closer and gasp. A huge blackish red mark is on Maisie's neck. Liam marked her. Wow, this is so great. Maisie. I whisper excitedly, hoping not to stir Liam's sleep. Hey, lazy bum. Wake up. I want all the juicy details from last night. I squeal near her ear and she doesn't budge. Liam moves and suddenly jolts up. He looks at me and frowns. I'm sorry. I just came check up on Maisie, but then I saw the mark and had to stop. I say sheepishly and he grins. Maisie, wake up. I shout but she doesn't budge. That's weird. She has never been a heavy sleeper. Maisie, wake up. Liam emerges frantically and there is no reply. He shakes her and suddenly stops. His face goes pale and I frown. Liam, what happened? I ask frantically. She's cold. He says and I feel my stomach turn into knots. I raise my shivering hand to Maisie's body and gasp as I feel nothing but coldness. I don't feel her pulse and my steps falter backward in shock and overwhelmedness. My mate is gone. Just like she said she would be. Liam states as if in a trance and I fall to the ground, screaming Maisie's name as my whole world comes crashing down. She wasn't just crazy last night. She was right. At the log Arabella stop. Maisie yells and I laugh, running ahead. Catch me if you can. I tease as I keep running towards the woods. That was the last piece, Arabella. It was mine. She whines and I smile smugly. The cook had made a chocolate cake today. After eating my piece, just to irritate Maisie, I told her I ate her piece too while it is still safe in the fridge. Maisie catches up soon and literally jumps on me, tackling me to the ground, and I laugh as she tickles me. Stop. I am sorry. I am sorry. I gasp out of breath and she finally stops. Arabella, you know I love chocolate cakes, she says with a scowl as we both sit. So do I. I shrug and she scowls again. You know what I'm gonna do for revenge. I am going to tell Alpha that you were fantasizing about him today. She says with a devilish grin and my eyes widen. No, you won't. Oh yes, I will. In fact, I'm gonna go right now, she announces and gets up. I try to get a hold of her but she escapes and I sprint behind her in fear. Maisie, stop. I didn't eat your cake. I swear. It is in the fridge. I yell running behind her. She halts for a second and relief floods into me. But just then, I see her shoulders shrug and she starts running again. I'm gonna tell him anyway. She yells in a sing-song voice, running away. I am not letting you go, Maisie. A hand grasps my shoulder and I jolt, coming back to the present. I didn't realize I was thinking of Maisie again, my tears falling on her picture that I hold in my hand. Mommy, look what I found. My 5-year-old daughter chirps excitedly and I quickly wipe my tears and smile, pulling her to my front. She holds up a beautiful pink flower and I smile. It's a beautiful flower. Maisie, where did you find it? I ask her as I don't recall seeing this flower anywhere near the house before. Every evening, I come here with my daughter, Maisie, and while she plays, I see my best friend in her. Innocent, kind, and full of life. This has become a routine now. Liam is the closest to Maisie, for she reminds him of her. He is no longer the playful guy I knew. Instead, he is more built up now, with a neat beard and more sharpened features. He is the pack trainer now. He is still funny and laughs, but every day I see the pain in his eyes. The pain of losing his mate, the expression of which is confined only to his room in front of Maisie's picture. He didn't take Maisie's death as severely as we thought he would. He regained himself in a few days and we were all surprised. But then I realized that he was just hiding his pain, and every night in his room, he lights a candle in front of her picture. Girls throw themselves at him, but he doesn't budge. He keeps saying that he is satisfied with the memory of her to keep him happy, and that I believe is the purest form of the mate bond. Liam is Maisie's favorite uncle and she sleeps with him every night. It's been 7 years since Maisie left us, but her memory is alive in every corner of this place. Xalvador was remorseful when he realized that Maisie died saving him. And for me, well, I was devastated. I couldn't be strong like Liam. I cried and cried, but she didn't return. Life was gloomy for all of us until I got pregnant. We had 3 pups, and the moment I saw my daughter, I knew what her name would be. Liam instantly got attached to Maisie too, for the same reason we all are. I didn't. I just made it myself. Maisie pulls me out from my thoughts again as she answers my question. Sweetie, what are you saying? You can't make a flower. I laugh confused and she shakes her head. Yes, I can, she says and kneels to the ground. Her hands coil around the grass and she closes her eyes. And I gasp as I see another flower, emerging from the soil until it fully blooms. See, Mommy. I did it again. She squeals at my astounded expression. My breath hitches and I sit up straight. Maisie, how did you do that? Did you say something when you made the flower? I ask and she shakes her head. No, I just closed my eyes and thought about having a flower here. She answers and I feel overwhelmed. My daughter has magical powers, just like Maisie. But how? Sweetie, I am going to your father's office for some work. I will send your brothers Mark and Joshua here, all right. Play with them. I kiss her on the cheek and run to the office. I link Emily to take care of Maisie. I thank the moon when I find Liam and Xalvador are both already there. Panting, I tell them everything and they both mirror expressions of shock. But you're not related to Maisie. There is no way that power is from Maisie. Xalvador says while Liam nods. Yes, and as you said, she didn't chant like Maisie used to. Maisie couldn't do a spell without chanting. There has to be another explanation for this. Liam adds and I sense a bit of sadness in his voice as if hating his own opinion. I think and suddenly it strikes me. It is Maisie. It's Maisie's power. I exclaim. That night, she had placed a hand on my stomach and was chanting something. I asked her what she was doing, but she shrugged it off, saying I would know when the right time came. She must have given her powers to Maisie then. I explain enthusiastically as things start to make sense. And because my daughter had those powers before she was born. She is stronger, or maybe she is a full witch. I add as tears spring to my eyes. Oh, Maisie. I had no idea this is what you had been doing that night. Xalvador wraps his arms around me and I stifle a sob. I don't want to make Liam feel worse. Liam runs outside and we follow him. He picks Maisie into his arms and hugs her tightly. Maisie giggles and I see a tear escape from Liam's eye. Suddenly, at a distance, I see a figure standing. We all look at it. A ghostly fading form. I squint my eyes and look closely and gasp as I see a smiling Maisie. A kind of halo surrounds her as she recedes away from us, her figure fading with every moment. Liam runs to her and so do I. He found me again. I love you all. She whispers with a smile, and before we can near her enough, she disappears into thin air. And just like that, she's gone. Again. Thank you so much for joining me in this obsession with werewolves. I hope you've had a great time and can't wait to come back for more. Remember to subscribe, leave your comments, and share this passion with others. Until next time, keep being obsessed.